Why does a minister in his government calling somebody a loser for working late and telling him to, quote, take some wine and F off, not warrant any formal sanction from him as Prime Minister?
Well, as I've said publicly, I was disappointed in the minister's conduct. It didn't meet my standards. It didn't meet the standards of what we expect from ministers. But he has subsequently genuinely apologised, acknowledged the wrong, and assured me it won't happen again.
Supplementary. Is he confident that Andrew Bailey had not consumed any alcohol when he berated an export worker for the very fact that he was working? And if not, will he commit to removing Mr Bailey's ministerial warrant if it's proven that he indeed was under the influence of alcohol when he behaved inappropriately?
Look, the minister accepts that his behaviour was not acceptable and he accepts the overall account of the events. I understand the member has a fellow colleague who's asking a direct question to the minister and I'm sure he'll give a fulsome answer to that question on notice.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order.
That was not the question that I asked him. I asked him whether he was confident that Andrew Bailey had not consumed any alcohol, and if it was proven that he had, whether he would remove his ministerial warrant.
Well, if the question had been that precise, might have got a more precise answer, but Prime Minister might want to add to his answer.
I understand the minister was not impacted by alcohol when he had the interaction with the individual in concern.
Supplementary question. Had Andrew Bailey visited a brewery immediately prior to the business visit where he called a warehouse worker a loser, made L signs on his forehead and told him to F off and go home?
Well, as I've said, the minister has accepted that his behaviour was unacceptable and fell short. He's actually apologised to the person concerned. He's apologised to me and reassured me it won't happen again.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Yeah, okay, and I think, repeat the question.
Had Andrew Bailey visited a brewery immediately prior to the business visit where he called a warehouse worker a loser, made L signs on his forehead and told him to F off and go home?
Point of order.
I'm not aware of that.
Point of order, the Honourable Winston.
Mr Speaker, if you follow that question very carefully, it's loaded with innuendo and it's also confusing.
Supplementary question. Why didn't Andrew Bailey apologise directly to the worker who made the complaint until the complainant raised the issue with the Prime Minister, instead including his initial apology in a letter to the worker's employer thanking them for his visit?
Well, in that letter, when it was brought to his attention, he passed on his sincere apologies to the worker. He's also subsequently sent a letter directly to the individual concerned offering to meet, either by telephone or in person. That, of course, is up to the complainant to determine whether they wish to accept that offer or not. What's important for me is that he's acknowledged that he got it very wrong. He's apologised both to me and to the complainant, and importantly, he's given me assurances it will not happen again.
Question 6. Aruna Williams.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister for Small Business and Manufacturing. Does he stand by his statement? Obviously, people have different perceptions about what went on, but I don't want to get into who said what. If so, what is his account of what happened between him and the worker on 3 October 2024, which he has apologised?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Andrew Bailey.
I accept the overall account of what happened between myself and the individual, and was certainly not drunk, and I do not believe I swore. Regardless, I accept that I was wrong and that my actions caused hurt and offence, and that is why I've unreservedly apologised to the individual.
Did he call the worker a loser?
Yes, I was wrong.
The Prime Minister's let you off lightly?
Look, that's for the Prime Minister, but all I would say is I'm very passionate about this portfolio. I love going out and meeting businesses and talking to people, and I'm very keen to continue.
The fact that this complaint was shared with opposition parties at the same time as it was shared with the Prime Minister, do you suspect any sort of political motive by the person that sent the...
Look, I don't... Look, I did wrong. I've caused offence with the individual concerned, and I am devastated about it. I don't want to be talking about this. I've got lots of things I'd really like to be talking about, and I've apologised to my caucus colleagues. The last thing I want to do is be in a position where we're detracting from the great work that the National Party and the coalition government's doing. So I have apologised to them.
Did you consider offering to the Prime Minister to resign?
No, I didn't, but ultimately that's the Prime Minister's decision. But I am very keen to continue in the role that I have, and I think I've got a lot to offer.